Hey, dude, look at this video.
Proud thing that all these women have going on. I mean, I don't knock women for feeling proud and for wanting to have, that girl power and holding things over him, but no, you've got to give it up, lady. I please my man in every way. All the ways. Wake him up. He gets to nut. Before he leaves out the door, he's leaving empty nuts. At work, I am calling him like, come outside, it's your lunch break. It's time for you to get your nut off. When he gets home, he's getting fed. He is getting another nut and one
fed
before
nuts?
bed, or two if he's lucky. That's it. That's a secret. I make sure that my man nuts at least 6 or 7 times.
My lucky number is 7, but that would not be a case where that applies. She's
7 times a day.
she's literally cosplaying as one of those fucking Dementors from Harry Potter, where they're just like suck your fucking essence out.
Dude, her man is probably like afraid of coming now.
He's
He, like, does
just
it
a
so much.
husk of a man.
He goes to work and his phone rings and he's like, fuck. And then his coworker's like, hey, dude, you all right? He's like, my girl's here. She's in the parking lot. I have to go outside so she can milk me. And they're like, milk? You're at work, dude. It's lunch. Like, let's hit Jack in the Box. He's like, no, dude, I can't.
I'm about to jack in her box.
You don't even want to know what happens if I don't. I get punished. I can't imagine just like the fear that then gets built into like.
I'm halfway to my quota. I'm almost done. If we just get this over with, like, it'd be better off than having to get all 6 of them done in one night. Like the evening time, like to unwind a bit.
Dude, the way that she just like is talking in this video, it sounds like she is enjoying him coming more than he's enjoying it.
It very much comes across that way. Like that's her dietary supplement for protein. It's
She's like, all right, dinner's over. Get in the room. And he's like, come, it's already been 5 today. She's like, 5? Is that 6 or 7? Get in the fucking room. Get on the bed. Take your goddamn pants off. And he's like, oh, all right. And he walks in the room. And then she just like, she doesn't even use her hands. She has like a suction cup machine that slides over it, and then the other end just goes into her mouth, and she's like, and it just like pumps it.
It's not even like hard though. It's like
Yeah.
it's just coming because he's like, I need to. It's not even pleasureful.
Have you seen the clip from? Oh shoot, what is that? Steve Brule, when he goes to the sperm bank. And they like hook the machine up, and he's like, turn it off, I'm dry. That is one of my favorite clips from that entire show. It is hilarious.
Now, you would not know it by just watching that TikTok. That's actually a fake podcast. That's just her in front of a mic.
Yeah.
Saying that. I mean, God, I hope it's not true.
I really hope she's not milking her man 6 to 7 times a day.
We're gonna need a mental health check on the guy.
That's
Or
that
just a physical
that
checkup on the
has to do
guy.
damage. That has to do damage to you 6 or 7 times a day.
His nuts gotta be bigger than your nuts if they're fucking producing that much milk.
And I can't imagine every single time is like full on sex. So
No.
at least 1 or 2 of those is a hand job.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
she's
just, like-
probably got like calluses built up on her hands, so she's just like sandpaper.
He's probably got calluses built up on his cock.
That's true. So it's just like right where like the beard part of your dick is. It's like rough, so it's like.
Oh. I hope he's uncircumcised just so there's some movement there without it like
Yeah.
having a fucking
Some built-in, those old toys they were like gel filled,
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
like stick your finger.
it's like a little sleeve.
you
Yeah,
got, like
yeah.
a built-in one of those.
Yep.
I remember playing with those and like the jerk-off motion. It was built into my head.
Yeah, I played like with it like that and I was like,
I didn't even know. I was like, this is really fun. And then years later, I was like, I'll be right back. Had to go
DLC unlocked.
one of my 6 or 7 times a day. I had to initiated that. But no, what is the deal with these fake podcasts that are like all over TikTok?
I heard a pretty good theory. They're saying that since there's a mic in front of them and it looks like they're talking to somebody else, that it makes the viewer want to listen more, so they stick around and listen to it, as opposed to if you were just talking to the camera, just talking to the infinite void.
I like to think that they really want to start a podcast, but they don't have any friends, and they know that it wouldn't be entertaining if they're just talking like this directly to the camera.
Yeah.
So they're just like, what if I just
That's
Now
crazy.
we're cooking. I
That's
wish I had
insane.
friends. I wish I had friends. I'm very lonely. Do you think it's gonna get to the point where they use like AI to like fake a response back?
I mean, EDP's already gotten there.
Well, that's true.
He just faked the whole ass fucking response back, and it just sounds like Siri. Like you don't. It's not even like.
It's
Maybe that's a person.
It's crazy how unbelievable that entire thing is.
It's so poorly done to the point where it seems like he just wanted to drum up his old controversy to look bad again in the public eye.
Yeah,
because bad publicity is still publicity.
It was funny because the AI voice that he used sounded like a combination of Barack Obama and Howard Stern.
Yes,
and a robot, because you can still hear it's like, so what was your mentality when you showed up? And it's like all over the place.
Warbly, yeah.
And then someone was clearly like filming him or something on the other side, because it'd be like he'd say something and you could hear it cut off. We're like, that's good. Like he didn't cut that part off.
No, I don't think he was filming. I think that was him.
No, it was someone else.
No, I think that was him.
Because it was like
I think it's under his breath. He's like, that was good.
He's like complimenting himself.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so believable. Like,
oh, that Photoshop
dude,
job
I
I
know
did.
This was 2 years ago, but everyone's gonna be like, EDP is innocent. He's good. I stand with him now. And then everyone was like, hey, yo, this is fucking pathetic. But no, I did a little bit of research on these fake podcasts on TikTok, and the easiest way to verify it is like whatever that account is, just like looking them up, and then there's no links to any podcast, and they're always talking about something that you would want to go look up afterwards. Like in this one, she's like eventually she's advertising her OnlyFans, which like I don't care if you do OnlyFans, but interesting way to like advertise that. Also in the video, there's a microphone right by her face.
Yeah.
Which is very clearly not tracking any audio.
No, it sounds like it's from the camera. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So she like went through the work of getting a boom arm, having a mic, and then didn't know what the back end was.
I don't think
like,
she cared. If I'm
I
honest.
like to think that she just didn't know what the 3 prongs in the back of the mic were for, and she's like, this just records, right? And she just talked into it, and then she's like, I don't know how to get the audio out of this.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think she's stupid. I think she knows exactly what she's doing.
I know, but
I
like to think that she's stupid.
Well,
because if she's smart, then it's unfair that she's smart and hot. Like,
true.
Get out.
True and real.
Get out. You can't be intelligent and hot.
True, real.
When the rest of the world is like for the most part,
one or the other.
Really, just neither. Actually.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
One or not the other.
Yeah, they either get like ugly or neither.
But I initially saw that on a Hank Pecker stream, and so I was like, "You should do a video on this. This would be funny." Like,
yeah, I do want to do a video on it. I think it's very interesting.
I want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes, because I was just interested by that clip that I saw, and I was like, I didn't know that this was a thing, but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
I'm intrigued by the psychology of it.
Yeah,
because I disagree. For me personally, like if I'm watching TikToks and one that pops up that is assumably a fake podcast or a real podcast, I don't watch it. Because like most of the time it's like stock bros talking about some alpha manhood bullshit.
And it's usually just clips that they put on fucking TikTok and shit.
Yeah.
So you don't know, you never have access to the source material because there isn't any.
Which is interesting because for a really long time I thought that. I was like, why isn't there any links or like calls to action, like, hey, go over to my YouTube channel and listen to the full thing.
Listen to our Spotify podcast. Like,
yeah, something like that. But
Nothing.
You know what is a real podcast, a real good one at that?
The Nut Cases.
This one, the one that you guys are watching / listening to.
And there will
It's
be
great.
fake. There will be fake clips we put on, but they will be real fake clips. So
It'll be really fake.
wrap your fucking brain hole around that.
Yeah. We should do. I think what would be really funny is if we do a podcast, but I record my half of it without you in the room, and then you record your half of it without me in the room.
So we're just talking over each other the whole time.
Oh, no, then we like cut it and line it up, but then our responses have nothing to do with what the other one said. Like, so
like a Mad
what'd
Lib.
you do today? And you're like, this fucking bitch.
Like a Mad Lib would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Just
I
leave
wanted
blank
to do that.
spaces.
Like, I write a rap bar for you, and then you write a rap bar for me, and then we have to like rap it. I think that'd be really funny.
Just don't put any racial slurs in mine.
Okay, well, that takes away my entire bar then.
Okay, good.
I was just going to be like 10 N-words. Just kidding. That was
Like that
that's a
Lil Wayne
joke.
song, huh?
Yeah, but, he could get away with it.
Yeah, he's white enough. Yeah, you're
More
right.
he could get away with it more so than like me or you could.
Because he's white. He's whiter than us.
Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
His name does sound white. Like Wayne.
Is that you, John Wayne? Is that you, Lil Wayne?
It's
Is this
Lil Wayne.
me?
When it rolls off the tongue, you're like, I'm Little Wayne. Like
I am Little Wayne.
I'm just picturing like
Little Bruce.
like Logic.
Little Bruce Wayne.
Like Logic looks more like a Lil Wayne, because it's like just the Wayne part.
Yeah.
And I mean his name's Bobby, so you know, kind of all Robert.
Robert Wayne.
Robert Logical. I like his full name.
His actual first fucking name was Illogical, and he was
I
like,
know.
"That's hitting."
And then he was like, "Wait, that means I'm dumb. I want to be smart.
Logic.
I'm logical." And then he changed it to Logic.
He was like, I'm like the cow.
He saw the DAW name Logic, and he was like, "That's me."
You're coming home with me.
Terrible DAW, by the way. Terrible. Hate it. Anyways, yeah, these fake podcasts are getting out of fucking control. People, I don't know why you have to fake it. Just make it. You know?
It's
not hard.
It's not that hard. All you need is a $6,000 camera with a $1,000 lens on it, a $3,000 camera with a $1,000 lens on it, and then a $700 camera for the wide. Like,
And then,
a couple mics,
yeah,
and then a
$250 to $200 microphones.
audio recorder.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to set up. I
Yeah.
don't know what the hesitation is, but
I
by people
don't know.
not
It makes
making
no
one.
sense. And then like a nice computer to like edit it all.
True, like
stuff.
a $4,000 computer to
It's
edit it on.
not expensive at all.
No,
like-
there's no barrier to entry at all.
No, 3 months of your like earnings and you could set it all up.
Or just a
It's
year of
not
most
even-
people's net worth.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like get your money up, you broke bitches.
You'll always have more time. Like, you're not gonna die, right? That
You'll
would
have
never
time
happen.
to make more money.
Exactly.
On your podcast.
Exactly.
Like us.
We don't make money yet.
Yeah, YouTube. What the hell? Come on, give us money for no reason.
Gamer Subs,
Silly.
sponsor us. I still want that, even though your fucking shaker bottles suck.
Look, I've been asking for a long time.
Your
I
fucking-
didn't say your shaker bottles suck.
The
Okay?
energy
Alright, Schlatt.
supplement, great.
Look,
The shaker bottles, if I could count, if I could have a sponsorship for every time it's gleeked on me after I shook it, I'd be fucking. I
we
wouldn't
could
need
start
to.
another podcast.
Yeah, I could start like 4 more podcasts.
I have nothing bad to say about the shaker bottles because I don't own one and I've never used one. So, Schlatt,
Make him into a waifu.
I got a booty, you know.
He do.
I
He
got a
do.
booty.
And a fat nut. That'd be really hilarious if it was like a futa.
A foot?
You know what I'm talking about?
No. What is a
Futa means it's a girl that has a penis.
Oh,
It's like
no,
the
no.
hentai version of that.
I've never.
So like a waifu, but she has like a fat cock and nut. That'd be fucking
Are you
hilarious.
a weeb?
A little bit.
Just for the big titty anime bitches?
Just for the hentai, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think every guy is lying if they say they've never looked at hentai.
I don't like tentacle stuff. That's just weird.
That's
To me.
that's a
To me.
separate category.
Yeah.
That falls into tentacle corn.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we could say porn. This is YouTube. It isn't fucking the losers
I don't
over
want to
at
get
Twitch.
demonetized.
I would like to get monetized and then get demonetized.
I know this is kind of backtracking, but I forgot to ask you, what is, in your opinion, like, 1, the proper amount, and 2, too much nuts in one day? Because in the
Oh,
video,
right,
she
yeah.
was talking about
Like
6
6
to
or 7
7.
times.
That's excessive.
That's insane. The most I've ever done was when I was like, just had nothing better to do. I think it was like 5. 5 in a day.
5?
Yeah. I almost hit her quota.
After like the third one, would you? Because I would say yes. You get to the point where you're like, I don't even want to do this. I'm just.
I just had nothing better to do, and I was like, dude, titties? Hentai? Pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Like you rubbed the on switch on your wiener and it was like, huh, we're gone. What? And you're like, yep, okay, all right.
It's
I
game
guess-
time?
Guess
We're up.
we're gonna do this. I know. I think I'd say about the same for me, like 5. A while ago, but I would definitely say that specific time, past the 3rd mark, I just was so bored. And I was like, I don't care. I have nothing to do. Maybe this will make me tired, and I'll like fall asleep or something.
It's just like I'm bored, so I was like, I know exactly what I could do that would make me happy really quick. Come.
I don't. It doesn't. So like for me, the second you finish, it's like the dopamine's like, all right, later, and then it leaves. And then
I feel like great after.
I don't. I get like post nut clarity real hard.
I get post nut clarity, but it's like, yes, now I can think clearly about whatever the fuck else I was doing, like playing video games.
I guess it's just for like the lone times, and you're like sitting there and you're like, what am I doing with my life?
Oh, I used to have that when I was like, I like started to like self, what the fuck is it, like self, not deprecate, like, because that's a funny thing. It's like, oh, deprecation.
Self-defecate.
Yeah, that's what I would do. No, I think it is just self-deprecating, like just fucking beating myself up for like the watching porn and oh, isn't this so sad of you? Like, it's not. It's just fucking like, it's just a thing. Like it doesn't fucking
Got
matter.
a wiener.
And
I
plus,
like rubbing it.
the people that fucking do no nut, y'all are fucking cringe. You got Aiden Ross as your fucking daddy right now.
Those
the
people
king of
fall
no nut.
into the same category as people who are like, yeah, I take ice baths.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the
you
ice
know-
baths are proven to help, but
Don't
like,
care. Don't care.
I'm not gonna go buy a bucket of ice to dunk myself in when I have just a shower that has a cold setting.
Yeah, I also don't give a shit how like health beneficial it is.
Well, it just
I'm
helps
not
the bad
sitting-
thoughts go away for a little bit.
It quiets the bad man in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting in a bucket of ice ever. Like, unless I have an insanely high fever and they're like, you need to get in that bucket of ice or you're going to die, then I probably wouldn't even do it because my fever would be so high. I'd be like, and they'd like have to throw me in. But that's the only time. And that has happened to me before. I had to like be thrown into a bathtub of ice water because my fever was like 106.5.
This went from funny to real
Yeah.
quick.
So that's what I was saying. That's the only time I do it because I did do that. But I have a friend of mine who's like a huge advocate of ice baths. And the first time he was like telling me about it,
It's just a little expensive for me. Like I'm not gonna
I
go keep
agree.
buying ice.
I agree. It's very expensive. That was one of the first things I said. But then I was like, what are the benefits of it? Because I'm not a scientist or a doctor.
Yeah,
And he was like, I feel great after. And I was like,
that's valid.
I was like, okay, but like, is there health benefits? And he was like, probably.
Well, he doesn't know, but feeling great is one of the benefits. It's like it triggers dopamine, and it just helps anxiety like get released. It's the same way like working out helps you like quiet the bad thoughts for a bit.
I'm not gonna dispute it, but I find it hard to believe that like, let me get cold as shit. That'll make me less anxious. Like, I feel like that'd make me a little bit more anxious.
And
I think it's the after.
Granted, everybody,
like, when you get
yes,
out.
100%.
The same way when you take a hot shower before bed.
Well, like everybody talks about. I have the point now. Most people talk about like, oh, once you're in the cold water, your body has nothing else to think about other than the cold water. So it's not like, oh, I hate myself for this and that and this and that. It's just like, this water's pretty fucking cold, huh? And then like once you get out, it's like, cool. Now dopamine, like you were saying.
That's some severe depression there.
Well, I just do cold showers.
I just do a lot of drugs.
Oh.
That's a joke.
I also do a lot of drugs.
I don't do a lot of drugs.
I only do a lot of drugs.
I only do one drug.
That's God.
Well, two drugs. Pussy, caffeine, and Adderall. Keeps me going.
And God. Bless up, DJ
He's
Khaled
not a
said it
drug.
best.
He is a necessity of life.
Also, I'm atheist. I don't know if that comes across in most of these,
I'm
but
CJ. Christ, Jesus. Just kidding. That was
he's
good.
dyslexic. Don't worry.
Oh, I didn't plan that at all. It was just popped in my head. I was like, "Hey, those are the same. Those are the same.
Those are like
initials,
the
but,
dyslexic
someone
person.
like that." Anyways, that was cringe. So while we're on the topic of nutting,
So anyways, her fucking boobs were nice, right?
whose? Oh, in the video,
Yeah.
I didn't really notice because I was so distracted by
yeah.
like, wow, this is like a crazy good podcast. I was like
Yeah.
distracted by
Obviously, yeah.
while we were on the topic of like nutting.
Yep.
Because that's all we talk about apparently.
I mean, it's the Nutcases podcast. So I mean, where else are you going to talk about nutting?
Yeah.
On the Sperm Donors podcast? I don't think so.
That they suck, dude. The Sperm Donors podcast.
Yeah, they blow too.
Like, I don't need a donation.
We got
collect
it under control.
I bank it myself.
Yeah.
Call me Chase J.P. Morgan, because I'm a bank.
JPP Morgan, because
J penis, giant penis Morgan.
yeah, because that's how you spell giant.
Yep. What is too many nuts in a day for you?
We already went over this.
Yeah, but I said the most you've ever done. But what's too many?
What would be too many? I feel pretty pooped after that fucking fifth one, so I think that's my limit.
What came out after the fifth one? Because
It's just like a little.
I know for me it was like when you're like the one drop of drool. That was like what mine looked.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's also
that's it?
it's also a little more clear than like white.
Yeah, there was just fluid instead of like the swimmers.
Yeah,
Oh,
I depleted my.
Jinx, you owe me a shot of cum.
Okay. I'll eat nothing but asparagus for a week, and then I'll pay that debt. You just said a shot of cum, so I'm not gonna eat pineapple for a week. That's gross.
What if you mixed them? Asparagus, pineapple juice.
Dude, like if you blend that up.
Like the peas and was it green?
We ended up throwing that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That didn't make its way into.
That smelled.
It was insanely awful.
It didn't taste as bad as it smelled.
Also, I was thankful about this. Didn't take that much to take it out of or get the smell and the gunk out of my blender. So I was
gonna use my blender for that.
And then they didn't.
Yeah.
They were like, blenders on the counter.
Right there. And then they just went with it. So I was like, eh.
It didn't smell like baby food at all. Baby food smells great. And then you smell that and it was like,
it's weird because baby food smells great and tastes bad, but the blended,
I don't think so. I think baby food tastes good. Certain ones.
Okay, I'll give you that. So, with that said about baby food, what is too many times to nut in a day?
Yeah, we're talking about babies here, so shooting babies out, right? So
we keep forgetting to say a number.
Well, no, I would say like anything over 5 is too much for me. Like
I think 5 was too much.
Yeah, 5 was like, all right, let's fucking do this.
I think 3 was like, that's where I'd be like, I'm tapping out.
5 is a really big time commitment. Well, not it's not a lot of time, but it's like, okay, the time
gets
to
longer
come
and longer the more times you do it in a
yes,
day.
but I'm not saying the time it takes to come is a bad thing, because like it takes me like a minute, maybe like sometimes.
If you're in like a time pinch, you're like, all right, I got 5 minutes. I can do
fucking
this.
slam it out.
Yeah.
But it's just like the cleanup time. It's like, all right, now I gotta fucking shoot it in my hand, fucking bring it all the way to the sink, wash it out.
Yeah, that's definitely what we do, and not one of our friends solely who accidentally.
I have to get my specific chair
on a
too.
Live stream.
Yeah, I have to make sure I get it into my specific nut chair, and then I milk myself.
I would never have ousted him like that, but he did it himself.
Yeah, he was on a Discord call.
Yeah, on stream.
Yeah.
On live stream.
Yep.
Twitch.tv/CJ Prince Live, by the way. But anyways, he was taking forever to get on Discord, so I was like, dude, what are you doing, jerking off? And he's like, no, I was in the bathroom. And I was like, what, you can't jerk off in the bathroom? No, dude, that'd be gross, jerking off in the bathroom. So I was like, where do you jerk off? And he's like, I have a chair. And I was like, go on. And he was like, I have a chair that's my comfy place, that's my go-to, and I sit in the chair and I do my thing. And I was like, and then you got a sock, paper towel, trash can, what are we talking about? He was like, no, I just use my hand like everyone else.
Why the everyone else? Why did he have to be like, this is what everyone does? Because I've seen everybody jerk off.
He said that, and I think my exact response was,
what does everybody
does
else
anyone
do?
else nut in their hand? Immediately.
Well, you have to ask the room,
everybody else in the Discord call and chat said, no, what the fuck? No WTF.
It isn't that wild. I will say this. It's not wild to nut in your hand because you can just wash your hand.
Right. If you, we're in a situation where you're like, this is all I got.
Yeah.
But if you're, at your home, you got, all opportunities, and you're like, okay, time to sit in my chair and jizz in my hand.
The most efficient, I think, would be a paper towel or toilet paper, and then you just flush
tissue,
it, and then it's gone.
Something?
Yeah.
You're like, bye-bye.
I don't throw it away in the trash can.
No, I have a corner in my room.
Oh, okay.
I just throw it in the corner. It's actually right there.
I actually have a duffel bag in my closet that's full of it, and I'm planning on shipping it to my ex.
You should ship it to your, celebrity crush.
That way she can have my baby.
And then, on the top of it is, a cum tribute of, their picture.
Yeah, but it's,
piles.
all discolored because the inks run.
This is a gross picture I'm painting right now.
with your cum.
No, I'm just. Never mind. I don't want to repaint it. As I
cum.
was explaining it, I was thinking about it, and I was like, "The fuck!" Like one of the most horrid things on Reddit is cum tributes,
Yes.
and my brain was like, "Describe one, but make it worse." Just fuck that. Not gonna even. Anyways, so the reason I was curious about like too many, was because there was one particular time. And I've brought it up to a couple of different guys just out of curiosity. And only one other person was like, I know what you're talking about. When I finished and then I didn't, like Go-Gurt squeeze, splooge it out, clear the chamber, or go pee.
Yeah.
And I got like a UTI feeling where like it hurts and burns and you have to pee.
Yep.
And then I went and I peed and I peed and I peed and I peed like pushing, like, trying to get more out, and it felt like the only way I can describe it was if my little swimmers were trying to like fertilize my urethra.
You said this earlier, and I begged of you to not.
I wanted,
you wanted everybody else to also have the same
listeners to get the same experience.
Got it. Yep.
It was not pleasant.
It's the third time around. It's still unpleasant to think about.
Yeah.
So.
You want to try and take a guess at who the only other person was that had like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Joey?
No. Someone else that's very interesting.
Brandon.
Yeah. When I said it and he said yeah, and I was like, you're the only one who. Actually, I'm not surprised. Like, for whatever reason, he's an interesting guy. He's been on our podcast before.
Yeah,
we have to get Joey on the podcast too.
It'd be funny, yeah.
When he comes out to visit next time.
We need to figure out a fucking 3-person solution here, because this is...
I'll fix it. I'll come up with one.
All right.
Anyways, he would be really funny to have on the pod. It would be great. It would be hilarious. We need a set, like a better one than this.
Yeah.
Is what we do need. Damn it, Zane. Move out. He's going to steal his room. Just kidding, bud. Love you. Anyways, have you ever had anything like that where like you... Because I have a routine I have to do now after I finish any circumstance when I climax.
When you ejaculate.
Yeah. I push, Go-Gurt squeeze 3 times, go pee.
Yeah.
And then after I pee, I Go-Gurt squeeze a couple more times.
Yeah. So I had similar process, actually. Come, and then I squeeze, and then, go pee. And then... good to go. Wash my hands as well while I'm there.
Have you ever? Do you have anything that helps you like quicker reset, so you can get back at it round 2?
Fuck no. What the fuck is that? Like a fucking shot of steroids or something? Or
dude, I don't know why.
An adrenaline fucking shot?
I don't know why. But sometimes after I will finish, most guys you're like, ugh, peace, I'm going to bed, and you're like clocked out.
I don't get like tired. Unless I'm already tired, and then I come and it's
lose, like, you're not like
real tired.
You're not like I'm gonna keep going, like you're done. You're kind of like tapped out.
Yeah, like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for whatever reason, I found that after you do that, you get up, you do your whole post-nut process, go to the bathroom, and take a shit.
You're already a big shit guy. You love shits,
dude. I love pooping.
Yeah.
Pooping is one of my top 10 favorite things to do.
Big shit guy over here.
Value that time. I am full of shit, dude, and I love poop shooting it out my butt.
You love poop shooting out your poop shoot.
But for whatever reason, right after you finish and you like poop, I don't know if it's like the prostate pressure that happens, but it's like, woof, could go again,
Hang on. So now, new question. We talked about how many nuts in a day. What is like your max amount of rounds that you've had with a female?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
So that's not a number, though. I just want to say that.
It's hard to put a number on it,
but
because,
you should.
Well, I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to. I'm just trying to. I have to like break down why it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because it was like over a night, like literal whole night.
Rounds to me can also include not you coming.
Yeah.
Like where, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like the first time, and then it was like the build up, and you're like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then we did it, and the first one was like, it was fast, man. And then so the second round was like, I gotta perform better.
Yeah, we gotta have a little fun here.
I took a shit, came back, and I was like, let's go, and then I hopped in.
The little like fucking boxer in his corner with the fucking water.
Yeah,
and
and
the
they're
fucking...
like wiping the Vaseline on me
Yeah,
so the
yeah.
punches slip off. I was wiping it on my wiener so like all of the the vagina texture doesn't tickle it as much. So it's just like, get out of the way. So the first round was like me, all me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
And then the second round was like I was selfless. I'm giving. And then after the second round, we both got our thing. We were both kind of like, want to go again? And so then we did it again. And then there was like a short break. And by short, I mean like 10 minutes. 10 minutes max. Hit rewind on the movie, restarted it over.
Love that.
And then kept going. And then the third one was like, it was like the sensation of climaxing. But
the third one, this is now the fourth one, I want you to know. Canonically, I've been following.
No, this was the third one. So
okay,
like the first one I was me. Second one was me given. And then 10-minute little break. I was like, got some water, reset the movie, went back at it.
Yeah.
And then that one was like, for whatever reason, the sensation of finishing permanently. Like, it was crazy. It was insane. Like, good. Like, for both of us, it was insane. So that was sick. That went on for like 20 minutes of just like you know what I mean? Like that verge when you nut and she keeps sucking type of thing. But like I'm doing it to myself, so I was like, and it just like then the movements of me vibrating to it is like, it was like clean burning energy. I didn't have to do anything. And then that went on,
renewable fossil fuels.
Yeah, like 20 minutes. Finished there. More water. Went back in.
More Vaseline.
Watched a little bit of the movie. Kind of got back in the mood, probably because the 20 minutes was the greatest 20 minutes of my life.
What movie were you guys watching?
Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't watch that movie anymore.
Did you just get bricked up immediately? You
No,
just associated?
Because I just, well, kind of. It's not that I get horny. I'm just like, that was a rough night. My dick hurt.
It does hurt after, like, you got a couple of days of recovery, but that night of, like, just the round after round is, like, fucking a lot of fun.
I'll put it this way. The movie played 6 times. So I'll put, like, 6 on it. I'd say, like, 6, maybe 7.
So you got your quota.
Night. Yeah, but I didn't really...
But you didn't come each time. Yeah,
I didn't finish each time, and by the 5th time, there was, like, some rug burn going on.
Yeah.
And...
kind of, at that point, would it be beneficial to wear a condom? Not for...
Kind of.
Yeah, just for protection.
It was...
And not
I think the last 2 or 3, the last 2, I was like, I don't know when the next time I'm going to get to do this is, so I might as well just get as many out as I can now.
Oh.
So that was...
Were you terminally ill with cancer or something, or...?
No, I was just young.
Oh. I don't know when the next time we'll be able to do this, so...
We both lived with our parents, so it was like a, clandestine type of thing. Had to sneak in.
Yeah.
Dancing in the moonlight type of shit.
Literally dancing.
Yeah.
In the sheets, in the moonlight.
The window shades were open, so the moonlight was coming in.
I think my max rounds was 5. I was like, I kind of had that like mental of I've jerked off 5 times before, so I should be able to fuck like at least 5.
It's different.
It is different because it's also a cardio thing. It's less of like come. It's like especially
whole body movements instead of just like bob your head.
Yeah. But I did get to the point where it's just like I'm vibrating, so like I turned into a vibrator for her, which is like it just made it 10 times better for her, and I was like, this is great. She's making all the great sounds, and I'm doing all the great things that feel good to me, and it's like this is serendipity, like serenity. Yeah, not serendipity.
It was like quite literally like the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Yeah.
You're like, keep squeaking more. I like.
I've never heard that. And now I have. And now I'm going to only associate it with sex.
Yeah, that's how men's brains works.
Yeah.
There's too many S's in there. Have you ever met anybody that doesn't like the sound?
No, most times they're like, I really like the noises you make. Like that's what I've heard. Not to be braggadocious, but
that's feedback I've gotten as well.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because then like sometimes you like lean forward and I just feel like I'm like
yeah, I'm just like
just like a like a diabetes person eating McDonald's.
To me, like, I think that I sound like, and then she's like, I like the noises you make. I'm like, great. Like, I think I sound like Patrick having a seizure, but
I think my voice gets higher for some reason, so it's like oh fuck. And it's like it turns into like a deaf person. Like if a deaf person was running a mile, and they're like This isn't a diss to deaf people. I have a lot of deaf friends. I love deaf
I had
people.
a deaf
I know
friend-
sign language. I'm fluent in it. This sounds like when a white person's like, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. You know?
yeah, it does sound like that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna definitely clip this out of context too, so who
It's-
cares?
Yeah. It's not offensive. Who am I kidding? It's not like the deaf people are going to hear it, right? That was a joke, by the way. So if magically a deaf person
Here's
like,
this.
I can hear, and they're watching our podcast, and I'm like, hey, fuck this guy, and then their hearing goes with like, hey, and it goes right back. I'm sorry, that's fucked up, dude. It's a joke. I love deaf people.
I have deaf friends, so
I
they won't hear it
I
either.
legitimately do have deaf friends.
They won't hear it either, though. So
Yeah. That's why they're friends with me. They don't hear how offensive I am, apparently. Anyways, let's not get canceled.
canceling is just a mindset.
But I can't get canceled for deaf people. They're not a race.
Let's pick on races
That was
now.
also a joke because deaf culture is a thing. Anyways. So that's what I feel like I sound like.
Yeah.
I'd turn into a deaf person running a mile. And then like I think your partner like builds off of that. So then you're like out of breath running a mile and can't hear.
Yeah.
And then they are also making whatever noises they make, but I like the high pitched ones. Those are the best.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, like borderline anime.
Yeah.
Too high.
That was almost
too
pitch
high and
perfect for.
not enough English.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Because what
fair.
if they're like cussing me out?
Well, Yamate Kudasai literally translates to "stop, please." So
Oh, I don't want
yeah.
that. Then.
there's a lot of like hentai.
Yeah, you just
is-
ruined hentai for me.
Yeah, when you hear that, you're like turning this one off.
Yeah, I don't.
It just to me it feels weird. I'm like when she says Yamate Kudasai and I know what that means, maybe yeah, my dick actually does. I'm like, I gotta find a new video.
Turns into like the SpongeBob without water, like sucks back in. I don't like the way that.
Yeah.
That made me feel weird. I didn't
Bad
know
energy,
that.
yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, I'm still gonna watch the video. Like, you still turn it off? No, I usually just turn the volume off.
I'm just gonna mute it.
Oh, fuck, she said the thing. Where's the mute button? Right back to it. It's not bad if I can't hear it, right?
Right. We're
It's-
not.
you know
This
what's-
video is bad.
What's really weird is the difference when it's tickling. When you're tickling
it's what?
somebody
Oh.
and they're like, no, stop. And you're like, you know? It's like crazy how really creepy that gets. But
Yeah.
then anything else is like, that's illegal.
You only stop when they pee themselves.
You edge the piss.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking piss soon? Ah. And they're like, this got weird.
Is this pleasurable for you or
Are you getting off by tickling me? No. Will you pee? Are you gonna piss?
pee now or else I'm gonna
Piss or I'll make you.
I love how derailed these fucking
I
get.
know. Well, then you could go even further on it, and like all the fucking weirdos that are like, she was asking for it. Look what she was wearing. And they're like, I wasn't doing anything wrong. She was laughing. She liked it.
Obviously.
Oh, so her saying no, stop, I'm gonna pee didn't incline that you should stop. Well, she peed,
It's like Chris
and
Hansen.
pee is just squirt, and that means she came.
Well, you're letting loose a conspiracy that is too hot to handle right now.
And then you have the other guy that's like, shit, fuck, that's right. I mean,
Pee is not squirt.
yeah, it is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not only piss. That's the other cool website where it's like OnlyFans, but it's only piss. That probably exists,
Gross.
actually. That probably
Yeah.
exists. But yeah. Anyways, it's funny to think about that when you're like tickling somebody and they're like, "No, stop, please," and you're like, And you get-
gonna kill you by tickling you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you liquefy your penis, and then you keep doing it. But any other circumstance is like, whoa, that's a felony.
Speaking of felonies,
Felonies nuts and
Yeah.
bounce back up because they're so big.
yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about that's like more of a serious, but there is funny sides to it as well, is like music production and like
Yes.
getting back into that.
This is a fucking 180-degree turn from what we've been talking about, but yeah,
There's still funny parts to it. There's still
But-
funny parts to it, but
not about fucking and sucking, you know?
yeah, not about cum.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So if you're here for the cum, this is where your fun is.
Yeah.
Just listen.
fast
for the
forward to this time.
next...
No, so I went to school, as you know, but the people watching may not. I went to school for audio engineering, and for like making porn sounds really good. So I have a bachelor's in moaning.
Gotcha. So that's why.
Well, watch this.
The fucking turtles was like.
Or I can do the puffer fish really well.
That actually was pretty good.
I practice a lot.
I'm in my girl's ear like.
And she's like, make some noise, and you're like, oh, fuck. And she's like, are you playing memes in my ear?
Iridocyclitis.
All right. I promise we're done. We're done. No, so I went to school for audio engineering. Then I realized I was really poor and I couldn't afford it, so I dropped out and I went to YouTube University.
Yeah.
And fuck around and find out state, which is fuck around and then find out what works type of things.
Yeah.
And then I got pretty good at producing and mixing and engineering and stuff like that. And I used to work for a website and make beats for the website, and then kind of went freelance for a little while. Would work with like local artists, which I thought was really cool. Like I thought it was gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
Not the case in my circumstance. I lived in Los Angeles, so you would think that that's like the hub of like hidden artists.
Yeah.
No, whatever camera I'm pointing at.
In my head right now, if I was to think logically, it's the hub for anybody who wants to be an artist and has any amount of money to pay somebody to help them.
Yep, that's quite literally what it was.
Yeah.
I used to work with tons of different people. The majority of people that I would find myself working with was like pretentious, stuck-up rich kids whose parents were like, "You're gonna be a star. Here's my credit card. Make my son sound good." And then they would pretty much, they would just pay whatever amount I said and assume that I could make their white, very white, rich son sound like Travis Scott.
Your kid is not going to sound even as close as like Machine
Good.
Gun Kelly.
Just end it at good. It's not even
Yeah.
going to sound good.
It's not going to be listenable.
That's like when people think auto-tune like can make a bad singer.
They're
a
like, oh,
good
T-Pain
singer.
did it. T-Pain is like big auto-tune guy, but he's also got an amazing voice,
You
and he
still
knows.
have to know how to sing.
Yeah, he also knows how to manipulate the auto-tune to get the note that he wants.
Yeah.
And most people are just like, auto-tune means that it just makes me sing at the correct tone, so I can just go, twinkle, twinkle, little star, like, and it just like
Doesn't work like that.
no.
It does not work like that at all. But some of the artists that I would work with were like, have you ever seen those TikToks where the dude, like, it's a sketch that he'll do, and then he's the producer and the artist, and the dude starts like laying down some really weird
Yes.
bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like legitimately people who I worked with, but instead of it being like funny because it was supposed to be funny, it was funny because they thought it was good. And like I'm talking about like high school poem writing bars, like AB rhyme style, like rhyme scheme, mixing leaf with beef, and like shoe with two, and like basic dumb ass stuff. And they would come in. I wouldn't ask like, so how good is your flow, dude? I was just like, you got your shit written already, or do I need to charge you more hourly? And they would pretty much be like, nah, dude, I brought the fucking heat. Like, it's probably some of the best shit I've ever written. and I'd go like this.
So best of they've written. Okay, good.
Yeah, and I'd sit there and I'd go, okay.
You're setting my bar really high.
Yeah, and then
Stop,
they'd be like,
please.
run the beat, and then I'd play it, and then they would immediately start flowing off beat, like wildly off beat, and then I'd pause it and I'd look at them and they go, "Why'd you stop?" And I go, "You're off beat, man, by like a lot." And they're like, "Oh, run it back." And then I'd play it, and then they would be off beat again. And so then the first hour that I'm getting paid would be me teaching them rhythm.
Teaching them what a beat is.
Yeah,
when
and
to-
also if you don't know it, you can't really teach someone rhythm if they have no sense of it at all.
Yeah.
Like if you can't tap your foot on beat to a song or bob your head on beat to a song, sorry, music's not for you. You should find something else to do, like trust funds.
Yeah.
So that was like pretty much what I would get. And it was like e-boys before e-boys were popular.
Nice.
So it was like when TikTok was still like Musically and shit like that.
The thing that's good about that, the checks are probably fat, good enough to live on.
Oh, I was secure in the bag.
But as a producer, you've got no body of work to like show this is what's good. Like
It did not help my depression. I'll say that. Like, because when you feel like you have a certain skill level or value, and then the only people you're working with are people who have never done music before in their life,
Yeah.
it sucks a lot. So I mean, there's not every single artist I worked with sucked, but
Right.
like the vast majority of them were like,
well, because per capita, you gotta imagine people just out of the amount of people that are trying, there's just gotta be like so many that are just like America's Got America's Got Talent.
America's
And-
Got Idol.
Yeah, American Idol like showcased it to a T. How many will line up out the door to
Yeah.
try, and then just because they're one of their close friends said you got a great voice.
I would say for every one good artist, there's 5 to 10,000 bad ones.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, like to be an artist in the music industry, like you need to have a reputation and skill level
Yeah.
that
There's also
is impressive.
if you learn that you're not good at like singing, there's another way to work in tandem with the music industry that you're trying to get into. Like you could be a beat producer, you could be a
Yeah.
fucking literally anything. You could help out at a studio. Like you could wrap cables and shit. Like there's an infinite number of jobs. I don't know all of the different jobs that go into it, but you could be a
It's-
publicist
It's
for
very, very similar to a movie set.
But yeah, you just fucking like you find your role and what suits you. It's not that
Yeah.
you're fucking trash and you'll never be anything. Like, you can help out in that industry. You just learn your place.
It took me a while, because initially I wanted to be the guy on the mic and I wanted to be the artist, and I still do. I still think I can, but I think my value and talent is in the chair, and
Yeah.
behind the computer and behind the beats and behind the production, and really just overall assisting in the song creation rather than being the voice on the mic.
Yeah.
Because I'll hear people that I'm like, you have got the voice.
I will
know?
say your music is good and it is listenable. Like I'll actually listen to it versus like I don't know some SoundCloud rapper just like
I'm not saying like I'm a bad artist. I just think that there's a
There's
level of like when you hear something and they're like, dude, that guy has it. That's it. I don't think like I have to work harder to like try to achieve that. Whereas
Right.
some people just have a sound that comes out of their throat that is like very, very pleasing.
it can be trained as well.
Yeah.
I do think.
And I think that's what I mean. Like naturally I'm better in the chair, like behind
Right.
the scenes, helping write songs, helping produce songs, mixing and stuff like that, just overall engineering in general. But the people that I have worked with that you have to like trying to explain to someone like, look, man, there's only so much I can do before the song is embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it already is kind of embarrassing. And I have a rule for myself, especially now. I don't want to put my name on anything that I think sounds bad.
Right.
Like, I don't work just for money. So if someone is coming to me and they're wanting me to put something out that just sounds like shit and I can't make it sound any better,
What's the
I
same?
will pass them off. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm the engineer for you. I think you should go find somebody else.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Is like I am not going to shoot a visual unless I know that that's going to be better than the last time I shot a video. Like I want to continually improve, and I want my body of work that I have to reflect my current skill set. So if you're gonna ask me to do something like a very dumb shot, I'm gonna figure out a way to put my touch on it to be
Yeah.
like, this is what I know right now
Yeah.
and how I can get the effect and the emotion that you want to get out of this shot.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what it's all about. If you just want me to set up a fucking camera on a tripod, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, you could do that. Why did you hire me to fucking put a camera on a tripod?
Why are you paying me like $80 an hour
And
to just
and that's not just like a thing. Like I know certain shots do call for being on sticks, but like still, you have to know when and where to use their certain things and shot comps. And like I even just learned about a new composition tool, but
dude,
the name is fucking
the
escaping me.
dumbest thing I've ever run into was like, because this is 100% the same thing when someone is like asking you to do a really stupid shot.
Yep.
And you're like, that won't look good, but I think I can give you something that's very similar, but
they're like,
will
"No."
look good. Yeah, and they're like, no, that's not it. I had one person I was working with that had this. This is their words, not mine. They are like, I have the exact sound I'm looking for in my head, and I was like, okay, like that's
play it for me.
good. Like we can work with that. Like if you can get that sound out of your head and into my ears in some way or another, I can get you to that level that you want to be at. And he was like, all right, so it's like literally like that, like that exact quality. And I was sitting at the I was sitting at my computer, had my headphones on, and I'm hearing it come through the monitor in my ears, and I was like, and I just turned around and looked, and he was like still going, and he was like doing the hi-hat tap, and I was like, hold on bro. And he like looked at me, and I was like, what the fuck was was that? But I was laughing, and he was like, that's what I'm thinking. And I was like, oh, I thought you were making a joke. Like I thought that you were serious. Like that's, I don't even know what the fuck that was. Like what am I supposed to take from? That's not a melody.
Well, also,
It's
yeah,
like
you gotta
nothing.
be like, here's the hi-hats that I was thinking about, and then do the rhythm
Yeah.
for that, because it's
You should
gonna be layered
explain the
anyways.
sound you're making.
Yeah.
Probably if you just start off with, I'm
And then I
assuming
want like a
you're
bass
like
hit, like
stuttering.
fucking-
Yeah, even something like that. I could be like,
Yeah.
okay, I got you, fat 808, blah 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 blah, and then do my thing. But if you just like he was like singing his vocal melody, I assume, while also trying to do the drums,
Yeah,
but only the hi-hat.
it's like, this isn't a beatboxing competition. You don't need to try and make all the sounds at the same time here.
It was cracking me up when I was sitting there. So by the end of it, I kind of got what he wanted, but then what he wanted me to do was use his voice as the sample melody, but auto-tune it. So then it was him going, and then auto-tune that. And I was like, look, man, no, that is really stupid what you just said, and I'm not going to do it. Not that any of this matters, but trying to like explain to people
Yeah,
that your idea is really bad, and we can still do something similar to that. Like I can still use your voice as a sample, but I'm not going to auto-tune it.
yeah.
That's really dumb. Like, what?
But speaking of artists, I knew an artist that I had
Yeah.
shot my first ever music video for. His name is Jay Reese. He's a local artist here in Arizona. And yeah, I shot my first music video for him for free. And he really liked my work. And my work since then has gone up an insane amount. And he saw the newest video and he was like, dude, that's insane. And I was like, well, you'd love to meet my buddy who is a beat producer. And I just introduced you as that because I didn't want him to be like, oh, this competition or something like that. I don't know. I didn't like know him really, really well at the time. So I was like, yeah, you guys should definitely talk. And to the point where I was like, I messaged him. He was like, I'm at work right now. And I was like, cool. Message me when you get off work. I want to like, you can call him right now. And he was like, hey, I just got off work. And it was like 1 a.m. And I was like, he was like, can I call him? And I was like, yeah. You could text him that, can I call you as well?
Yeah.
But I was like, yes. Like, he's just sitting in the other room right now. Like,
Yeah,
call.
it was a really good experience. And he's a super chill dude, super super awesome, really really talented. It's so refreshing to work with somebody who, even if like you know, he said, he's like, I'm still starting off on this, you know, I'm not an expert. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm a professional at the level of like Benny Blanco or
Right.
something. Like, there's still things that I need to learn and improve on as well. But I was like, the skill and talent that you have and the skill and talent that I have, we can help each other build and
Yeah, they
grow
complement
and
very
improve.
well.
Yeah, and I mean, not trying to be a producer dissing other producers or other engineers, but whoever produced his old stuff.
I'll say it. Rich 100, your shit sucks, dog. Rich 100, you need to work on it. Just go into the fucking booth a little bit, or sit in the chair for a little bit longer, and just like put on some headphones that aren't little Walkman.
Yeah, maybe get headphones that aren't blown out or something.
Yeah,
I don't
not the
know.
ones that came with the little like CD, the skipless CD.
Remember the
players?
early 2000s, the foam pads that would go over
No,
your
exactly.
ears?
That's what I'm talking about.
like
Yeah, the
those
little
ones.
skipless CD player, the ones that came with it that had like the really skimpy wire that was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a vibe. But you shouldn't be using those for mastering your fucking songs because
No,
that's
it
what
was
it sounds
rough.
like.
It was rough. It was really, really rough. So I was extremely pleased when he sent me one track and he was like, "Here's all the stems." And I was like, "All right, I can work with this." And then he sent me another one and I played it, and the beat literally sounded like it was mixed in the trunk of a car, and then someone took a mic and just recorded it playing through the trunk of a car and was like, "This is it, man. This is so good." It was so flat and there was no movement to it, and it was boring, and it was clearly not exported in like 32-bit or even 44.1.
Yeah.
It was horrible. So the quality was like, sounded like a fucking MP2 file, like really, really low quality. And so I just texted him back and I was like, "Hey man, I'm not touching this one." And he was like, "Oh, what? Like, is it not good?" And I was like, "No, your lyrics, your voice, pretty good. I think we should retrack your vocals because it sounded like you were like just woke up." But I told him, I was like, "I think the beat killed your energy while you were tracking vocals on this." And he was like, "Oh, so we just nix it?" And I was like, "No, I'll mix one of your songs you already have tracked, and then I will make you a new beat, and you come to my studio, and I'll track fresh vocals for you.
Yeah.
And we can just hit record, delete until you get the sound that you want.
Yeah.
And we will just start from fresh." And he was initially like, "I don't know, man. Like, this one's already done." And it was like one of the, like, we've listened and watched all of his shit. Kenny Beats, one of my favorite producers. The super popular thing he says is like,
It would be insane to have him on the podcast.
"Oh, dude, that would be fucking
That would
awesome.
be next level. But
Don't
go ahead.
overthink it." Like,
Yeah.
that exact thing. My thinking on that is like, obviously the same thing. Don't overthink it, but like, don't get lazy with it. You know, like, it's good, but it could be better. Like, you don't have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
But if the vocals you tracked, you're like, "This is good," it could be "This is great." And then I told him, I was like, "With a new beat that I will make that will actually sound good,
Yeah.
your voice will be beautiful on it." He has like this deep, rich tone to his voice that,
You were saying it's really easy to
oh,
EQ.
dude, it's so
great
easy
to work
EQ.
with.
It's so easy to EQ. My voice sounds like a tin can, like a twangy box, you know? So when I'm EQing my voice, I have these, like, you know, going around all the wavelengths of it and trying to chop out the parts because I have a very high pitched voice. His comes in real low and it like self EQs it out of his throat. So like the high ends are just soft. So like EQs thrown on there, super simple. And I know no one gives a shit about this, but I'm really, really stoked
Well,
about it.
no, and he's
really,
gonna be here
really stoked
tomorrow.
about it. Yeah, he's gonna come here tomorrow. We're gonna track some stuff tomorrow, work on some mixes. I'm really excited to show him the new mix that I did.
Yes.
The new monitors that we got,
Audio monitors.
studio monitors.
Yeah.
They're so fucking good. They're so fire. I'm so excited. I had monitors way back in the day, and then, like I said, poor and broke, had to sell a bunch of stuff.
It's great to buy in industry grade gear because you know it's gonna last you a long time,
Yeah.
regardless of the expense.
Absolutely.
Especially since you can't afford it right now. Like,
And the monitors I had before were not an industry standard. They were like affordable ones, not the ones that I just got rid of. The ones I had before those, I had Sonos, which is like, it's not even a known brand.
no, it's like it's like usually like a sound bar for your TV kind of brand. Sonos, yeah.
But they made studio monitors. They were not studio monitors. They, like, technically, but they sucked. They sucked ass. But these ones, oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm really, really excited.
Oh, yeah.
But the other funny part about the ones that I have now, before I bought these ones, I bought Yamaha monitor.
Yeah. You thought you were getting monitors.
Because the Amazon listing said Yamaha 8-inch HS8s monitors.
Yeah.
2, plural. And then when I got it, it was 1, not plural. And that was really, really disappointing. Kind of a blessing because the 8-inch monitor was
A little
fucking huge. and
big.
two of them would not have fit on my desk.
No.
So downsizing to the 5 inches for the size of this studio is great. It's
Yes.
great. It's not overbearing. Doesn't rumble the whole room. I mean, they can.
Yeah, I think
But-
the sub was kind of on the bass we were listening earlier. I think it might have been rattling the 69 sign
Something.
or the bottles together. I couldn't really figure it out what it was, but it was great. It was achieving the effect that you wanted, which was just like fucking thumpy bass.
Yeah,
At this
yeah.
part.
It was great. I am really, really excited for just really being back in the studio and like making legitimate stuff because
Yeah,
I enjoy making satirical songs, but there was like an itching artist inside of me that was like, I don't want to only make funny things.
I'm pretty sure that that was the conversation that we were having. It was like you're like I want to make music again, like serious stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I know a fucking rapper, and you were like, hit him up,
him
man.
up.
Like,
I didn't. I had heard one of his songs already,
yeah,
and I didn't judge him at all. But I was like, it sucks. Mixing sucks on it.
yeah.
But it's not his fault, obviously.
No, it was some
Um,
other mixologist.
Yeah, and he told me when we were working together, he was like, "Yeah, I've never had a producer that like custom made me a beat."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's fucking awesome, huh?" Because you can be like, change that instead of just turn the MP3 file down or turn
Yeah.
the WAV file down, turn that one singular stem down. It's nice that you can like I can just tweak things in there however he wants, you know,
Yeah.
and help an artist bring their message to life.
It's kind of like
Which is
talking to
awesome.
a mechanic. It's like I'm looking for my car engine's making this sound. I want my song to make this sound.
Yeah. But I could do that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice. I'm really, really excited. The downside of it is that it's like a drug to me. So like once I get into it, I'm like, I just want to keep making things. Like
Yeah.
let's just keep going. So it took a lot for me to like as soon as I finished the last one to not just like immediately start working on another beat and like not get his input or like ideas of where he wants to go on another one,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. But I am very excited for tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
Like,
gonna be so much fun, and I'll actually have time set aside for coming in here and filming some BTS stuff for not only us but stuff for him to put out on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm working on stuff again.
yeah, and I have the next day off.
Yep.
So it's not like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. We gotta
Gotta
wrap
leave,
it up
yeah.
because I gotta go to bed. It's like, who fucking cares?
Mom's not even gonna fucking. Mom's away.
My mom's on a work trip. We'll just stay up all night and drink Mountain Dew. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited. And for everybody who is watching this, you guys will hear it very, very soon, which I'm really excited for because
yeah.
the few people that I have shown it to has been like, this hits.
Yeah.
Like, this is really fucking good. And overall, I mean, he's a great lyricist too. So
Yes.
the lyrics are not the like boring. I drive a Rari.
Yeah. I
know.
make a lot of money, even though I'm a starting artist. I don't know how that
Yeah.
functions properly there.
Which I have no gripes against like flexing. I think it's a huge part of
it's a
rap
huge part
and
of the
hip-hop,
culture, but like flex once you have the money. Like people are gonna be
Yeah.
like,
Or,
"How are-
like,
how are you
at
flexing?
least-
You have
at least like
7
thousands
followers."
of views, you know? Like once you get like thousands of views, then you could be like, I'm coming up.
Yeah. It's
Soon,
like you.
I'm gonna have a
people-
Rari.
Yeah, people appreciate like the incremental move towards that, and then also once you have blown up, like what's it called, like reflecting on reflecting on where you came from and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
be like, oh, this is my story of how I made it out of like where the situation I was in. Like that's people really do appreciate that stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of smaller artists on the market nowadays that are so good at that and don't get the, notoriety and listens that they should for stuff like that.
Yeah.
But one of the things I have been heavily considering is turning the music production into a whole separate content form. Once we get him in the studio, really any artist that I'm working with, and just kind of like filming that process or, doing fun sides of that of like make a beat in an hour, make a beat in 30 minutes or stuff like that. And just like challenging myself to those limits and seeing where that goes. I'm
you
very
even-
interested in that. But
you
if you
take-
guys are watching this and you're interested in stuff like that, comment down below
Pretty please.
if you're interested in that so that I will do that.
You could take the cave a step further and be like, okay, I only get to see the lyrics that he gives me, and I need to make a beat that kind of fits the
Or
vibe.
not even lyrics, he just gives me 3 adjectives.
Yes.
That would be sick.
That'd be cool.
Give me 3 adjectives and I'll make a beat of that vibe using only the 3 adjectives,
Yeah.
and then we don't hear each other's. Well, he would have to hear the flow of it. I
Yeah.
don't get to hear his flow. I just
Yeah.
make a beat. I get to pick the BPM. That's one of the things I am very stingy about as a producer.
That would be fun though.
I like picking the BPM.
Yeah. That could be fun to try out tomorrow, just for like a little shits and giggles to break the ice a little
I
bit.
mean, we're gonna have all day, so
Yeah.
do a lot of stuff.
Well,
This has been a fun episode.
I fucking love this. We went from talking about cum and how many nuts in a day
Yeah.
to
I was
now
initially
really
thinking like the reverse that, finishing it on
finishing
that.
finishing
Yeah,
on it.
finishing on the finishes.
Yeah.
But I think starting off by finishing
Yeah.
was good. Just like, all right, we're starting. So, anyways, I'm producing music now.
This episode kind of came together like a post nut clarity. It was like talking about coming, then we came,
That's true.
and then now we're talking about
Wait,
like,
you came?
normal.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
I have a tampon in right now, so
So you're into like sounding?
no, just tampons.
Just tampons.
Yeah,
I don't like the metal.
no,
I just like the feeling of stuffing a tampon.
I like a dry. Anyways, we can.
No, you got to dip it in vodka first. So then while it's in, you're just slowly getting drunk.
I haven't thought about that. Might be
That's
next
actually
level.
a real thing that frat guys do.
In their
No,
pee-pee?
well, not in their
In
wiener. They do it in the
boof
butt.
it, yeah.
Yeah, they'll soak a tampon in vodka for like a day, or like in the fridge, and then stuff it in their butt, and then they just like keep a buzz for like the entire day.
That sounds like it would fuck you
Sounds
up.
so unhealthy and dangerous. And I'm not saying anyone should do that, by the way. I'm saying that it's bad. Don't do it. We're not advocating for boofing anything, really.
Yeah, don't boof alcohol and a tampon. But if you do boof something, boof that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Boof that subscribe button, and then while you're at it, boof the thumbs up button. It's
Stand up.
perfectly sized.
Stand up wherever you're at, take your pants off, turn around, and jump so that the thumbs up button boofs into your butt.
Yep.
And then from there, you can pick your balls or your, labias up and just flop them down on the subscribe button
Yeah.
so that it hits the thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah.
And then you can tongue out the bell to turn on notifications.
Dude, having a touchscreen would be crazy with all that.
Oh, yeah,
You
if
just
they're on a PC using the mouse, like
fucking-
trying to push the mouse with their
little
tongue.
trackpad.
That'd be great. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to look at the main camera now while I say this. Shout out to all of our king crabs, our top patrons, Savmav, Kignack, and Gibby. You guys are goated. And you
AKA Daddy.
keep us, daddies. 3 dads.
Yeah.
That's like a whole new societal standard.
3 dads in a day.
Yeah. Shout out to all the king crabs, all of, lower tier hermit crabs. You guys are much appreciated as well. You just don't get your names shout out. So, anyways, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Just want to give a huge shout out to all of our top patrons listed right here. If you're interested in getting some extra and bonus content over on our Patreon, go check it out. It's really cool, and we got some good stuff. Why aren't you checking it out? You should have gone by now. You're still here, though. Okay. I know the alphabet. I could recite the A, B, C, D.